Hello and welcome to a Dominions video. I'll introduce by saying that I'm not a stellar player. I've played a lot of multiplayer games, but I'm not some tournament winner. I'm not some guy who wins every game. I think it's because of diplomacy. I'm not a huge fan of diplomacy. I don't like it. I think if I was doing that, I'd be playing a different game. I'd be playing Diplomacy, the board game. Very similar to Dominions almost. But you may be wondering whether or not your nation is strong or powerful or what nation to pick. I've run into a couple of games where I've played with people and they've been like, what's a good research number to have at this point? How many provinces should I have? What's a good income for me to have? Should I quit now because I'm behind and can never win? And I don't think most people who play Dominions think that way. Most people who play Dominions, I think, are happy to win or lose. It's just a goofy game that they're enjoying. That's how I think of it and why I play so much of it. But I will go over all of these nations, turn 12, that I've tried to expand with, and we're going to see how well they've done. Turn 12 is maybe a little early, but it's a point where you can look at a nation and say, okay, they've had excellent expansion. They're going to be a power for the rest of the game if they're not in terrible hands and the person is halfway decent playing them, or that nation has essentially no chance, and it would be a miracle if they could somehow squirm out of the situation they're in. And we're looking at a nation that's definitely probably on the hairy edge of that, needs a miracle to come back. This is Arco. And we're going to go over, I'll show you in just a second. We've got a pretender for all of these nations. All of these nations are in the game. All of them have expanded. This is a map that was loosely adjusted to try and prevent terrible starts. It's not completely worked out, but it's done okay. It's done better than the average map, I think. All right, so I've got a spreadsheet, and I'll show you at the end, but Arco, we've got 7 provinces, upkeep 11466, upkeep 287, research is 123, and if you don't believe me, it's 123. All right, and we've got gym income at 10, a fort count of 1. Arco is not building a fort, which means that they are hugely behind this game. Oh, and by the way, their gym income, they got really lucky. They searched 3 sites with 2 wizards. This one, or this province, and they found gym income in all of those. They found 5 gym income. That's an extra capital of gym income. And then they searched this province and got murdered by werewolves, which is the easy come, easy go of Dominions. By the way, just so you know, somebody has claimed the Throne of Beasts this game, which causes an event where all of these these werewolves just show up and take provinces randomly across the map. Really annoying if you didn't claim the Throne of Beasts. Those werewolves have destroyed 5,000 gold worth of forts. They've destroyed a Lemuria fort that was in construction. Absolutely tragic. Well, anyway, and Arco did not take an Awake Pretender. Falagra did take an Awake Pretender, and as you can see, they are much larger. Considerably large, double the size. It's 16 provinces. 2,283 income, 85 income, pardon me, 242 upkeep, more efficient than, well, it would appear more efficient at claiming land than Arco. Research 55. Gym income of 5, fort count of 2. They're building 1 fort in Shambhalak, this province up here, and the research is 55. And they've completed 1 fort entirely. They can single turn recruit wizards here. I say a completed fort is one where you can recruit wizards perfectly. They do have an Awake Expander, which has helped them a ton. The Awake Expander basically guaranteed that they'd get 12. If they were careful, that they'd get 12 provinces in addition to their capital by turn 12. So they've gotten, it would appear, 4 additional provinces from building armies. You need an awake expander a lot of times. All right. Pan should be at 17, but due to werewolves, is at 15. They also lost a fort to one of the werewolves. 2136 income, 301 upkeep, 44 research. 44 research was okay, but not great. A gym income at 11. Fort count at 1. Fort building count at 3. They've got their capital, but they're building 3 forts. Completed fort count at 0. Awake. Yeah, they're awake. They've got a Drakon. The Drakon is a big deal. If not for these werewolves, Pan would probably already be murdering Miklon, which was basically dead on arrival because I was greedy with making the Pretender for Miklon. And I accidentally skipped Pythium, but we'll get back to there. This is Lemuria. Lemuria is a very odd nation. They have 12 provinces. They have 347 income. That's so little for so many provinces. Upkeep, 0. That's really little for having any units at all. Research is at 101. Gym income at 15. That's pretty high. Fort count at 2. They're building an extra fort. They've completed 0 forts, because this is not a completed fort. And then Awake, we can see that we are... I'll just skip to the end of this track. Awake, yes, they are awake. They have an awake statue right here. I don't know how to play Lemuria properly. I've never played Lemuria properly. I have a feeling this is suboptimal. I feel like the nation... I've seen the nation, I think, be stronger than this, but I've not seen the nation that turned 12 before. So I don't know if this is accurate or not. So take this Lemuria with a grain of salt. I think that somebody who knew what they were doing would do a lot better. Pythium. Pythium is a little easier this time. I don't have to do the funny, weird cast spells every year to recruit all of my dudes. I can just straight up recruit these dudes, which I should have been recruiting earlier, and these dudes. So Lemuria seems to be easier than they used to be. But anyway, we'll go with the numbers, all right? 9 provinces, slightly better than Arco, but not much. They're, by the way, next to Andromania, which is huge. 226 income, 88 research, a turn. It's pretty middling. Gym income, 4. We'll put an average together for all of these, so you can kind of figure out where you will, in a game full of people like me, who have played a decent bit of Dominions 5 multiplayer, what the average would be. Now, to be fair, if you've gotten good at one nation, you're going to do way better at this. If I was playing Middle Ages of Balba, and I have, I'd be at like 20 provinces turn 12. Uncontested by other people. If I had, you know, tuned my bless properly, tuned my scales properly, and figured out what I can and cannot take. But some nations it's easier than others, and this is a really going to... If you could not know this already, this is an indication of which nations are rush bait and which nations are not rush bait. Because of how well they've expanded. Alright, fort count 1, fort building count 1. They're building 1 fort in Nymeria. What's the province, right? Nilmera. Nilmeria. And they do not have an awake expander. Alright, next up is Man. Man does not have an awake expander at all. But Man has done pretty well for themselves. 15 provinces. Technically in the game from the old rule of thumbs. 1935 income, 333 for their income, for their upkeep. What's the research? 68. Now you may be noticing a pattern here. Nations that have less research tend to have expanded better. Whether that is because nations that are not expanding well invest more in research, or because investing in research is a mistake early on, I will leave up to you. Gym income. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 income from not really searching at all. Fort count. You will notice 0 forts, except for the capital, so 1 fort. Building forts. We are building at least 1 fort here. We are building 2 forts here. Oh, but this just started this turn. I'm not sure I should count that. We'll count it as 2, because the money has been spent. 0 completed forts and not awake. And they bumped. They bumped here, so they would have 16 provinces had they not run into somebody else. Well, I'll add a tag for that. And then I'll add another one for contained or at war. Conflict. Man has not had conflict. Lemuria has not had conflict. Pythium has not had conflict. Pan, not had conflict. Phalegra, not had conflict. Nor has Arco yet. But Man has bumped. And that's an important one. That's a ticker. That's a ticker for you. You should know if you've bumped or not. And it's very important if you have or have not bumped. Alright. Now we go to Ulm. Ulm is in conflict. Ulm. How many provinces is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 provinces is not looking good. 1178. That's your income. 243 upkeep. Research. What's the research at? 66. Now that is objectively a worse position than Man. That is less research. This is the first nation we've had that has fewer provinces and fewer research than everybody else. So this nation is seriously in a bad situation. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 provinces, 4 gyms, a turn. Fort count 1. Rimmeyer had a fort building in it. There's a werewolf there now. The werewolf cracked the fort. It's very sad. We are not building a fort as Ulm right now because we don't have the money. We have to move a dude here. We're going to try and build a fort right here, but that's almost a desperation plan. We might also try over here. We're going to keep expanding away. We're just running away from Atlantis at this point because there's not much we can do against Atlantis. 0 completed forts, and hang on. Alright, here we go. Awake. They are not awake. Bumped. They haven't bumped, but they are in conflict. Alright. Now we go to Agartha. What is Agartha? What is Agartha? What is Agartha? Let's see how this works. Agartha has not bumped. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 provinces. They were attacked by werewolves as well. They're building a fort on here, and it was attacked by werewolves. They didn't want to claim Throne of Bureaucracy yet. We'll say that they have it, though. Agartha. How many did I count there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, 11. 11. 1, 8, 46. At 267. 28. Well, really, it's more than that. It could be a lot more. If we don't do that this turn, for clown reasons, we would be at 102. Gym income. You got caves, so you're gonna get higher gym incomes normally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 gym income. 4 count. 2. Building 3. No, you don't have 2 forts yet. You only have 1 fort. You are building 2 forts. No, 0 completed forts. Awake? Yes. Did this come out dormant? I have a feeling this came out dormant. I think it did. I'm gonna have to check this pretender real quick. Forgive me. Let's see, where's generic Gartha? Nope, it comes out awake. All right, well, there we go. Marignon. No bumps, no conflicts, 1 throne. Alright, now we've got Marignon. Marignon's doing alright. Let's look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13. We've got 13. $292. Let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 gems. What's our research? Our research is 15. That's that's the lowest we've gotten. 1 fort completed. We're building 2. We've got 0 complete. We're in conflict. No thrones, no bumps, not awake. Alright, Abyssia. What have we got? We've got 1692 income, 248 upkeep. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 provinces. Alrighty, research. What is research right now? 86. And by the way, sacrifices will not be counted in the gym incomes, but clearly Abyssia has gathered some. We've got 6 gym income. We've got 1 fort. We're building a 2nd fort. Are we building a 3rd fort anywhere? Yes, we are. Building 2 forts. We've got 1. Completed fort count 0. Awake. No. Bumped. No. Actually, no, I think they did. I think they bumped somebody. I think they may have bumped Erythea. Conflict? Not yet, but they're probably going to attack Erythea. Throne? No throne. Raga. This is the most anemic Raga I've ever seen. I think I'm doing something wrong with Raga. But they did have a really bad start. They're one of the really bad starts I don't think people should normally have in Dominions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 provinces. 9 provinces on Raga. Ragha. 1284. 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 gems income. 1. They're building 1 fort. They have not completed any forts. They are not awake. They have not bumped. They are not in conflict. They have no throne. Just trying to go fast here. Calum. Calum did have an awake pretender. However, it died. We're not going to count if it died or not. We're just going to assume that the awake... We're just going to say the pretender was awake. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 provinces from Calum. They have... They bumped, I think, somebody. Their income, 1191, 207, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 gems being incomed. 88. Fort count, 1. They're building a fort. 0 completed forts. Awake. I think Calum is sufficiently rush bait. Gaff. That's very sad. We won't worry about it. They are in conflict with Satis. Now, I should say... Let's see, what have we got here? We've got 4 gems coming in. We got 146, 4, 184 upkeep. That's pretty efficient. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 provinces on Gaff. Research per turn, 50. Man's looking like it's in a much better position than they do at first. We've got 1 fort. We've got 2 forts in construction. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 3 forts in construction. 0 completed forts. Not awake. Yes, bumped. Yes, in conflict. No throne. And here we go. Patala. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Well, let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 provinces on Patala. Very good. 2,783 income. It's crazy. 278 income or upkeep. 70 income. Gym income is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. 4 gym incomes. Fort count 1. They also lost the fort right here being, or was it here? They lost the fort being constructed to werewolves. A fort building count. We're building 1, building 2, 2. 0. Awake, no. Bumped. Let's see. No, they've not bumped. Conflict, they're about to start one. Throne, no. War Commander's doing Tianchi. This is taking so long, good lord. Tianchi has had a very tragic start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 provinces. They've got 1028, 164. To be fair, this is partially my fault because I made a bad pretender for them and immediately killed it. So they had a very slow start. If I went for scales only, they probably would have expanded much better. And their gym income 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They've got a Throne of Autumn too that they can take, but we aren't going to worry about that. They do have a throne though, I should say that. Pretty good on their part, at the very least, that they've got that, if they've got nothing else. 53 research a turn. It's very low. Fort count 1. They have 0 forts building. Yeah, it's not looking good. Awake. Yes, they were awake. No, they have not bumped. No, they are not in conflict. Jomon. Jomon sees a lot. Jomon is in conflict, but has 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 provinces. 14 provinces. They are in conflict. And yes, they bumped. And yes, they started awake. And no, they don't have a throne. Completed fort count. No. They have 3 forts. They are building 1, 2. 2 more forts are in construction for them. Gym income. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 gyms on the income. 24 research. Upkeep. 214. Income. 2406. Partially it's this. This is a very good awake expander, I've learned. Mictlan. I completely screwed Mictlan here. Mictlan has 4 provinces. This is my fault. They had an awake expander who died. We aren't going to worry about that, but it's very sad. Completed fort count. 0. Fort building count. 0. Fort count. 1. Gym income. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Research. We aren't even going to worry about it. Income. 743. You notice that there's a lot of money here. One of the troubles is if you don't build forts, you don't have any way to spend the money. They're not in conflict. They do not have a throne. They're just... Mictlan is just dying. A Mictlan that fails to properly bash somebody's face in is rush bait. A Xibalba that has a bad expansion, rush bait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 provinces at 862 income, 136 upkeep. This has been really rather unfortunate. They do not have a fort building. They have 1 fort. The gym income 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The research 109. It's not bad. Completed fort count 0. Awake 0. Bumped 0, 0. Conflict 0. Throne 0. Zib Alba. I have disorders. Satis. Satis is doing great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 provinces. 13 provinces on Satis. 2604. 140. They've got 6 gyms coming in every turn. They've got 1, 2, 3 forts, 4 forts. That's really good. I mean, they've really prioritized spamming them out. Their statistics, they kind of need to. Fort building count, they're building 2 forts. Whoops. Didn't mean to. Let's see. 1, 2. They're building 2 forts. 2 forts. Completed fort count. 1. They have a completed fort, putting them in an excellent situation. The research is 10 per turn. Awake. Yes, they had an awake expander. Bumped? Yes, they've bumped. Yes, they're in conflict. Throne? No. Alright, here we go. Let's go to the next one. Midgard. Midgard on the other end of the conflict. How many provinces do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 provinces from Midgard. Well, 124. 241. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gym income. The 3 of those are sacrifices. Dubious. 79. Fort count 1. That's pretty good. I like 1. Well, it's not good. They're building 0 forts. They've completed 0 forts. They are not awake. They have definitely bumped and definitely had conflict. Throne 0. They do not have a throne. They don't even have the cap circle because of random events. Bogarus. Let's go to Bogarus. Bogarus has bumped like 4 times and lost every single time. Bumped 3. Bogarus. Bogarus. 1-1-36. Bogarus has always been rush bait every time I have ever seen them played. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 317. Not a very efficient nation. 154 research per turn. That is the largest research in the game so far. Gym income. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Fort count 1. They're building 0 forts. They've completed 0 forts. Did they manage? They started building 1 this turn. That's right. Alright, well, they're building 1. They're going to have to be in conflict very soon if they would not like to just sit and fall behind. I guess they have the highest research in the game. They could just speed ahead to some clown fiesta, which is what they want to do, I guess. What they will want to do. They are Bogarus. They did have an Awake Expander, that's right, and it died in a bump. Tragically. Utgard. Utgard does not have an Awake Expander at all, but they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 provinces. Utgard. 15, 200, very clean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 gyms on the income. 1 fort. They're building a second fort at the very least. They should build a second fort here. We'll fix that. Completed fort count 0, awake 0, bumped. They bumped with Bogarus twice. Conflict 0, throne 0. No, they do have a throne. They claimed the throne in flat, in fact. The throne that screwed everybody up. Now, look who's got another throne. Vattenheim. Vattenheim was awake. They have insane income. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They've got 3 underwater provinces. 2, 4, 5, 50 at 232 upkeep. Oh, I didn't check the Utgard research. 0 research from Vati. Gym income of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 from Vati. Fort count of 1, 2, 3. There's 1 underground, which puts their province count up 1. Fort building count 1, 2, 3. Building 3. 0 completed forts. Awake, yes. Bumped, yes. Conflict 0. Throne 1. Now they're about to be attacked by Patala, but we don't know that. Patala wants to murder them before their dominion spreads any further. Or was it? We need to check Utgard's research. 25. Feminine. Feminine did pretty well. Their troops are surprisingly consistent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Even if the troops are subpar for the late age, they don't have crossbows. The troops are actually pretty good. They have good but expensive heavy infantry. $18, $16. 2, 7, 7. Where's my keys? They're my keys. Sorry about that. 5 gems. What's their research looking like? 52. Honestly, it could be way bigger, but they've got a bunch of wizards just out here site searching all over the place. Like, seriously, they're... Where's the rest of their research coming from? Oh, that's right, it's coming from these guys. Fort count, 1. We've got another fort being built. Another fort being built, so 2 forts in the works. Got 1 fort. Complete fort count 0. Awake, no. 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 Alright, 3 commanders doing nothing. Let's see. Piconnier. Piconnier can do better than this. Piconnier had an awful start as well. So completely surrounded by barbarians, but honestly I think that they should have just marched through and they would have been fine, but I hesitated, I was extra careful, and now we're here. But but at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, even though they are anemic by a lot of standards, I think that they, in the fact that they just have one giant army of tiny dudes, is probably in a better situation than a lot of the other nations. The one army of tiny dudes is quite scary. They've got 82 research. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 gems on the income. Fort count, 1. They are building a second fort, which will be basically complete as soon as it finishes. But that doesn't get counted in the numbers. Awake, no. Bumped, no. Conflict, no. Throne, yes. A surprising number of nations have thrones early on. I guess it's what you get for having level 1 thrones on the map. Andromania is huge, or at least appears huge. They're maybe a little smaller than they appear to be to these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19. 19, no joke. Otherwise known as the doggos, they have 2787 as their income, 421 as their upkeep. It's pretty good. Research, let's see what the research is. 72, nothing to sneeze at. Their gym income is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Fort count. Now they don't actually have any other forts that they're building right now. They've got like 1 being built, which is going to be done in a month. Yeah, and that's it. That's literally it. This guy should probably build a fort, but he's going to move here and build a fort instead. We'll be evicting Verlea off the map as well. A good thing. I honestly don't know where I'd build my second fort. I guess right here is a good fort location. Honestly, haven't been paying attention, but Andromania has the money and the ability to expand way harder than they are. Alright, and they also got this super lucky game-winning luck where they got like a blood 1 on their first mage they recruited. That is, by the way, a 1 in 20 odds. It should take 20 turns before that happens. Now 20 turns of recruiting that mage. That's the kind of stuff that wins games. Fort count 1, fort building count 1, completed fort count 0, awake, yes, bumped, no, conflict, no, throne, no. Erythea. Now you thought Piconia was anemic. Oh my goodness. Erythea, they got surrounded by heavy cavalries, which they cannot kill. Should they have had any... Well, whatever. I could have played them better. I could have probably just waited an extra turn and taken this province if I was just careful, and then they would be fine, but I did not because I am foolish. And now we are here. Anyway, they are in conflict because they are so anemic. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 provinces. They have 6, 5, 1. They have an upkeep of 168. They have research. Now research they have been able to invest in. And I believe this might actually be my own mistake. I, for some reason, invest in research when I don't expand 1, 2, 3, 4 instead of expanding. It could also be that oftentimes you just don't have the resources to spend money on anything else, so you spend on research instead. Fort count 1. Not building any forts, not completing any forts, not awake. No bumps, but you are in conflict. And then throne, no throne. Atlantis, the other underwater nation, which has bumped. Atlantis at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 provinces. 1965, 196. They have 6 gyms on the income. Their research, 48. Fort count, 3. Fort building count. They're currently not building any more forts. 0. 0. Awake, 0. 0, 1. No, they did bump. I think they probably bumped twice, actually. And then, no throne. Which leaves Relayam, the nation I've screwed up the most. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. At 1079, 138. What's their research looking like? 47. Gym income at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fort count 1. Fort building count 2, I believe. Yes, we're building 2 forts. Completed fort count 0. Awake 1. I screwed it up. They died. No, they are not in conflict yet. They do not have a throne yet, which is all of the nations. We've done all of them. So now we can do the exciting thing and rate them. Hey, howdy, I'm here again, and we're gonna go over the nations that are doing the best in a variety of stats real quick. We're going to go first to the nation that has the most income by 5, by the way, and the most provinces, which is Andromania. You saw this nation. This is the nation that is currently province-wise and income-wise in the lead. Their upkeep is high, though, which is going to send us to the other nation, Patala, which has 5 fewer income, but has significantly less upkeep. Will Patala screw themselves by attacking here? But that's basically, we aren't going to worry too much about that. So Patala and Doggo's roughly tied for income currently. Practically, Patala is winning, but technically dogs are. So we need research, right? Bogarus is in the lead for research, but they are not doing very well. Erythea and Arco just behind them. Of the three, I think Arco is most likely to be doing all right, but we're going to go look at Bogarus real quick because they are the leader in research right now, which is, it's one of the, I guess it's one of the things that Bogarus is okay at. Bogarus doesn't really have a lot of options. They've got to figure out who's going to win or lose this Shinyu Midgard war and go abuse that. Given that Midgard's right there and Jomon, pardon me, not Shinyu, is all the way up here, I think it's a safe bet that Midgard is the one that's losing. The other option would be bump the Giants again, which has happened twice to Bogarus, and lose. And over here, Falagra is probably going to look over here and think, Bogarus looks nice and easy for the taking, but this 2-province front, a little bit of a choke point. They're Giants, they could probably push straight through. Oh, and so, let's see, what else have we got? Who's got the most forts? Let's see who's got the most forts. Forts are probably, it's Satis. Satis has the most forts, and Satis also has some of the highest income. Most forts is probably the biggest deal at turn 12 because this is the most ability to spend gold. If you have gold and you can't spend it, who cares? If you have forts but you can't spend your gold, again, who cares? Or you have forts but you don't have the gold to spend on them, who cares? Having both, probably the biggest variable in whether you're going to win or lose here. Satis has 4 forts out. And they're all on really good provinces. And Satis as a nation, it's one of the weird ones, late age Satis, where they could just kind of sit and just collect Tomb Kings, because the more Tomb Kings they have, the better off they are. Alright, that's it here. I'm going to probably pull up a picture of a spreadsheet now. And the spreadsheet is the data I collected a little earlier. And so if you want to know how well you're doing, or at least if you're doing better than my average, if I'm playing a random nation, which may or may not be an accurate measure of how well a normal Dominions player is going to play, we're going to have these numbers right here. The average expansion in this game has been 10.9 provinces. We'll round that up to 11. On average, nations have 11 provinces at the end of turn 12, year 1. Nations in the top 15% will probably have above 15. So if you're in a game with, 20 people, there's probably going to be 3 people with more than 15 provinces. If I really tuned and only used nations that I was good at or comfortable expanding with, this number might go up. Your income should be at least 1,600 at turn 12. That's the average in this game. If you want to be in the top 15%, you should be over 2,100. Again, game of 20, 3 or so people are going to have that at the very least. Let's see. Research. Now, this is odd because research in the first year is not... You shouldn't be spending on research. Some of the biggest nations up here do not have very good research. So, if we sort by income here, let's see. The Doggos have 72, Patala has 70, Satis has 10. Satis is in a great position, but they are not using any of their research, okay? They could easily spam wizards now and get research. Doggos and Patala don't have stellar research, but they have a decent bit. They They've got above the average, which is 69 at this point. Top 15% will have over 100, but let me tell you, list out those top researchers. We got Bogarus, Erythea, and Arco. Those are the top 3 researchers right now, year 1. All right, well, here we go. This is Bogarus. Bogarus is not doing too hot. They're the top researcher. What was our second one? Erythea. Erythea is on death's door. 4 provinces. They're going to die. This is hopeless, essentially, for them. And then Arco. Arco is not doing great, but there's still plenty of land to expand. They're taking the province next turn, and it's a big province. They'll probably win. Arco's doing much better than these other 2, with considerably more income than the other 2. Well, really 100. So, and besides, they would have been bigger anyway had, you know, this event not occurred, which didn't really mess up Bogarus or Erythea because they were so small when it happened. All right, well, that's it. I guess if you wanted to pick a nation and you wanted to say, I want my nation to be competitive and I want to be big early in the game, I'd say Phalagra, Doggos, Patala, or Man, and this is late age. I'd also say pick a Awake Expander, because Awake Expanders, according to this game, have about 1 extra province turn 12 on average. And a much lower chance of being in the middle of the pack. It seems like some of them still completely donk it up. If we removed Mictlan from the game here, we just said, yeah, it becomes 12. It becomes 2 entire more provinces. Mictlan is sinking the Wake Expanders by a whole point by being bad this game. I guarantee you I can play a better Mictlan than this. I'm embarrassed by this Mictlan. Do not worry. Do not worry. That being said, I think you can do Scale Mictlan. I think Scale Mictlan is, in fact, optimal to pick. I don't think full Hellbless Mictlan is a true proper pick. And I got into arguments with people in Dominions 5 about that. All right. Well, anyway, that's it. Goodbye.